I remember the first time I saw Sooner or Later the Oscar performance. I said,
Like what was this? Y'all drop me some comments below. Like, was this a special theme at the Oscars that year?
let's get to it.
It's more than a statement, it's a way of life. Celebration. The Mr. Jackson talking.
Alright, so I think like that statement I made earlier kind of really sums up this whole period for Madonna. And not only that, I feel like I'm Breathless, the album, is the most controversial album in Madonna's discography so far, right? And I say that because it's one either you love or you hate, right? There are so many people like, man, skip this, okay? So many people like, I didn't even buy this track, you know what I'm saying? I just know, oh, you know? It's interesting to me because as I've been on a journey and like, of course, learning about Madonna, I've noticed that for as much as she was a trendsetter, progressive, right, pushing the boundaries, etc., ironically to me and weirdly to me too, it's like in a retro kind of bag, right? And when I say bag, I mean like I can't think of a better word to say. It's like, and let me explain what I mean by that. So it's like we get a glimpse of this retroness happening with her as early as what the Live to Tell video, right? I think it's the first time we've seen like this retro Madonna. But I mean, we could even say kind of like that whole Desperately Seeking Susan era was kind of like retro in a sense, right? Wearing like vintage cars from like the thrift store, right? So making vintage new again, right? Shiny and new like a virgin. All right, anyway. So right, and then like Live to Tell, we see her like the kind of Veronica Lake wave hair happening, right? She's dressed very like 1950s modestly, right? And then that whole True Blue era is like this throwback to the 1950s, along with Who's That Girl, right? It's kind of 1950s meets 1980s, right? And then we get like the ultimate like Hollywood glamour girl and express yourself, right? And then we get this big I'm Breathless Vogue Dick Tracy era, which again is still all reminiscent of the past. So I find it very interesting, like for her again to be such a person who was moving the needle forward. She was like reaching back into the past to do that, if that makes sense. I wasn't expecting that on this journey, right? And not only that, we talk about risk taker, right? And risk taker is a word I've always associated with her since I started the journey. Every album I say is a risk. Breathless is definitely a risk of an album. It's also very strategic in the sense of, again, Madonna, the businesswoman, let me monetize this character. I'm Breathless off of the screen, but I'm a musician, so let me bring her over to my music. You know what I mean? I think that was brilliant because I was under the assumption when I first started listening to this album that it was the Dick Tracy soundtrack. And I was like, oh, no, 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 no. And then I saw the movie. I'm like, oh, there's other songs. Right? So I think it was so cool of her to do that, not only from that business standpoint, but as an actress, right? Because it seems that she was so immersed in the character as well that she could kind of play on those emotions and convey it through her music. And I think, again, to me, the song that I've heard that Madonna has acted her butt off on, like, if she needed a Grammy for it, if she needed an Oscar for it, it's Papa Don't Preach. Again, Madonna, as a late 20, someone convinces me she like a 15-year-old girl. I'm still shook, okay?
And one thing that lady could do is that walk. I wonder if she still got that walk, because it's been a couple of Madonna walks I've been like, oh, snap, okay, she just be walking.
But anyway, back to I'm Breathless. So again, this was kind of like a surprise album, not only because of the movie, but because of, if you think about like her music trajectory, of Like a Prayer, right? This is an album that's like, making a new, kind of getting a new sound to the 80s. I mean, the new sound that kind of set up the 90s in a sense, right? Especially those Shep remixes of Express Yourself, right? Killed that. And then to go all the way like to this kind of old timey music is like, whoa, and actually release a single like Hanky Panky and like what? And it actually charts, like, whoa, that speaks to the willingness of the public to listen to her at the time just because of her popularity, right? And then to have like a monumental moment like Vogue on really kind of like a novelty record. It's amazing. I haven't really ever seen anything like this in any major pop star's career. Like, I just haven't. All right, but anyway, with this album, there are no videos essentially besides Vogue, right? So we know Vogue is like,
Whoa, whoa! That's probably one of the best videos like I've ever seen. Wow, hands across the board. This proves why Madonna's like got the icon status. Like, oh man, I'm impressed.
top 5, maybe even number 1. I don't know by the end of this journey if I will feel the same, but Vogue the video is just again like perfection, right? Y'all ever seen Niagara with Marilyn Monroe? She'd be like, perfection. That's Vogue, okay? Anyway, since we don't have to do a ranking of the videos, let's talk about these songs, okay? Y'all ready? Let's see if we're gonna be vibing on these tracks. Coming in at number 11, Now I'm Following You, parts 1 and 2. This was a song where you really, really had to listen, or you really had to see the album. I mean, you really had to watch the film to understand it, make it make sense. Of course, I reacted to it before seeing the movie, so I didn't have all the full context around, like, these sound bites. But after seeing the movie, I do have appreciation for the sound bites now. And not only that, I talked about power, right? This is something, a new word that's emerging. I feel like with Madonna as the albums are progressing when I'm describing like power, right? And like this song to me displays her power where she can have an old established Hollywood actor like Warren Beatty, who I don't think was ever known for singing, and I don't think he ever appeared in a musical. And in the movie, Dick Tracy didn't sing not one note. So she got him to sing on a track. Like, wow, that's power. And not only is that power for her as an artist, but as a person, we can do a little two-step. And you guys said it right in the comments, a lot of you all, that this song was like the bridge of, okay, connecting the old-timey songs to the song that paid homage to the old times, but has a new contemporary style to it, which is Vogue, right? So again, I said this was kind of like a novelty album in the beginning, and Vogue totally wouldn't make sense sonically without having Now I'm Following You a part of the album. So I'm here with y'all on that. And again, nothing really special about this, but they had to introduce again kind of the new Jack sound and do all that. All right. The next song, He's a Man. So this song, I'll be honest, I actually had to kind of go back and listen to when I was doing my ranking because I totally forgot about it. Shout out to the background. That was the thing I said in the reaction. Not necessarily the most memorable song on the album, but not bad at all. And that's one thing I want to get established as I move throughout the rankings. Like, I feel like this album was very well crafted, very well produced, lyrically on point. And what Madonna did here was sound like she came from this era, right? And I don't think that's an easy feat at all. And really, I feel like underrated. And I always say Madonna's underrated, but I feel like this album really showcases how underrated she really is. But going back to He's a Man, again, she was bringing really strong vocals, but it's just not the most memorable track for me. Bananas. Okay, so I feel like this song was like the comedic relief of the album in a sense, right? I'm going bananas, but again, paying homage to the likes of like Carmen Miranda, right? Again, reaching back, giving props to old Hollywood in that sense. I'm going bananas. Right? It's just one of those very kind of short, almost interludes that stands out. I would say like nothing special, but it is special because again the production is just so on point, and it literally sounds like it could have been something like maybe the what's her name, the Andrews sisters, right? The ones like it sounds like something of the era, and I'm just so impressed because I thought most of these songs were like remakes, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody like Cole Porter had written them. You know, so this again is impressive by my standards. Hanky Panky. Okay, so I think Hanky Panky lives up to Breathless Mahoney character, right, in regards to like this sensual sexual being. But it was perfect for Madonna as the artist, just in title alone, which I can understand is why this was the, I guess, first single or maybe second single after Vogue. But I know it was a single off this album. And you guys told me it even charted, I think maybe top 10 without a video at all. And it sounds very old timey. You know, to me that's the biggest surprise because I think other songs off of this album could have been released as a single, but again, I feel like this one was released due to the Madonna image, so to speak, right? Oh, Hanky Panky, that goes with Madonna. But again, to my surprise, like wow, 1990 people was listening to this without a video, right? So again, that speaks to the power of Madonna at that moment in time in 1990. And Hanky Panky is typical Madonna. Like a lot of people from the journey, I understand, got hooked on Madonna from the Like a Virgin song, right? So they have always sex and Madonna synonymous, right? So Hanky Panky was just in line, right? She's talking about getting spanky. And not only that, I think what is interesting about this song is that how, again, on listening to it, one can perceive it as, oh, okay, I thought Madonna was supposed to be like, you know, don't go for second best baby, you know, feminine, strong, right? So now she's like talking about Duke Specker, right? She anti-feminist and she trying to put women back in the kitchen. But like she said on Arsenio.
Who likes a good spanky? Right? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Now, when you say a girl, you don't mean like an 8-year-old who's come home with bad grades. You're talking about a woman.
I'm talking about the spank you get when you're not bad. I'm talking about the spank you get when you're good.
Yeah. Okay.
There are some good spankies. What Can You Lose with Mandy Patinkin.
Too much to lose.
I feel like this song, number one, is the most tender song on the album. And after seeing the movie, perfect for that scene. I kind of now understand the resistance you can hear from Madonna on the track, but again, it makes sense because she's breathless. The character, right? I'm breathless, right? She told y'all I'm breathless. And it's interesting too because I just had a thought, right? The I'm breathless. It reminds me of a statement that she made during that what's that lady name? Not Jane Fonda. Jane Polly interview.
Clothes make you.
I mean, they make your body responds differently to what you're wearing.
What does that say about women in the 50s who were wearing dresses that made them look great but feel kind of uncomfortable, and spiked heels and the whole number?
Well, I think it made them kind of feel breathless. And that was what was so sexy about it, you know, because you're kind of constricted and everything was, you know, your tits were sticking out and your diaphragm was pressed in and everything was kind of like that, you know.
And the mystery was, let this woman out of here.
Exactly.
Oh, like, this is cool. The Breathless album. But anyway, Breathless, the character, of course, she's not really feeling 88 Keys like that. But I love in the movie as 88 Keys is playing, like he's singing to her, what can you lose? You know, and he's looking at her. But I don't remember them connecting eyes, right? She's kind of looking straight as he's looking at her. And at the end of the day, it's like he wants her. She doesn't want him, but she needs him to, you know, do all the things that she did as Breathless. So, again, great song. Sounds very on trend for the period. Cry, baby, cry. Cry, baby. Oh, yeah, I like this song a lot. I think it was cleverly written. I like how Cry Baby is kind of used in the song. Is that an alliteration? I forget. I need to go back to, like, what is that? Language arts? I like how Crybaby was used like in one sense, and then in another sense, it's like literally the words cry baby. You know what I mean? So I thought very clever. This is one that sticks out in my head. I like it, and I would listen to this like in my spare time. How could you not like more, right? We get to the top 5 of the album. I want more, right? It's just one of those songs as well, right? Where you just remember, like, out the top of the head, you be like, once upon a time, I had plenty of nothing. Which is fun today because I had rhythm, music, love, the summer stars and the moon above, and the clear blue sky. My diamonds, got my yacht. Like, it's such a old school flex of a song. Something the Rockefellers probably would have liked, you know? I want more. And the Vanderbilts and all those old time families. That scene in the movie, the practice scene, and the actual them singing more, right? And I just loved it because in my head, I loved like the chorus girls in the song, how it wasn't necessarily like perfectly on key. It stuck true to like a real chorus girl sound of like the 1930s, and you know they got their tappy shoes on, right? More. So again, just an excellent produced song that really captured the era of like the 30s and the 20s. But it could totally be like relatable, and I feel like any era, because at some point there's always going to be somebody in life who wants more. Dang, start talking about I'm breathless, camera pack dies, so I had to switch to that red cam, but it's alright. We're going to finish this album review. Alright, we're in the top 5, so Sooner or Later. Okay, well, geez, I fell in love with 2 versions of this song. The more kind of faster, campy version of the Oscars, right? Sooner or later, you're gonna be mine. And then the more kind of torch song version on this album, right? And shout out to all of y'all who come in on that Judy Garland reaction I just posted, because I found out what a torch song is. And again, like, this is a song that could have been in A Star Is Born in 1954 or the 29 version. So it's like, again, just a well-written song. As the character Breathless, very fitting, right, of her and her quest to kind of get Dick Tracy, which was like she used on Malcolm X by any means necessary type of thing. up until this point, I really think one of her more sexier songs. And not only that, vocally, the album version is just superb. I feel like she did really, really well. And again, it's like, wow, listen to Sooner or Later, like, this is the girl who sung.
She getting winded a little bit.
So just like almost night and day is amazing. All right, so this song is kind of controversial. I wasn't really expecting kind of like the disagreement. I don't say because we family, we don't beef. We have little disagreements. We agree to disagree around here. But yeah, like I feel like Back in Business was just like this album, meaning like either you liked it or you hated it. And with me though, I am very much in between with Back in Business. But let me tell you why Back in Business made the top 3. Number one, it was a song that I kept on revisiting, right? I love how Madonna come on the track. I wasn't even really listening to the words when I first heard the song. I just love like the whole kind of new jazz fuse, right? It sounded very contemporary on the verses. Like, okay, this is something. I feel like this still could have been a single. The thing I never liked about the song, of course, is that chorus.
Nah, bro.
After watching the movie, I understand why the chorus is like that. But given that this song didn't make the movie, I feel like my original kind of hypothesis was right. Like if they would have like made the chorus like just cool, this could have definitely like been a single that could have rivaled Vogue, I feel like. And I also like this song because this is the first time, almost kind of like Sooner or Later, this is another first. This is like the first time where Madonna has like some savagery in her voice, right? So now she's had like savagery in her lyrics. We can go all the way back to Burning Up, right? That was savage. But the delivery was just like hard and in your face. Like it was just so street. This was more like Madonna now, right? Like she grown, she got money, and if she gonna plot on you, you best believe it's gonna be well thought out. And she not gonna be the one to execute. Unlike Breathless, she's not gonna be the one to execute. Somebody else is gonna execute, right? Like it's just so bossed up. I'm gonna show you. Good guys always finish last. Yeah, it's like, ooh, dang, girl, you cold, right? I haven't heard this coldness, and that's the thing, that's the difference. That's what it is. It's coldness, right? It's like Burning Up. That's more so like, oh, I'm on fire, right? She on her swag on that song. This is that more so, ooh, I'm kind of cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh. So I haven't heard a cold side of Madonna yet. So this is interesting. I feel like this is the first time I've heard that coldness in her voice. It's like again, I feel like this is the lyrics also, and to know that she wrote the song, like, did she write the song? Let's see, who wrote this song? Yeah, she did. Her and Patrick Leonard. Wow, ooh, cold. Okay. And again, also out there, I love the way she incorporated the Ella Fitzgerald. A test, get a test, get you lost your yellow basket. I thought that was really cool too. So again, just overall cool song. I just wish the chorus was different. If the chorus was different, this song probably would have been number 2. All right, something to remember. Ooh. Woo! I'm talking about just a hunting type of quality to it. You know, everybody talks about how kind of like poetic Like a Prayer was, but to me, I feel like the song Something to Remember like rivals most of the Like a Prayer album, in my opinion, like in that kind of poetic way and just the delivery, right? And that's what I was talking about on the Like a Prayer album, right? Because there are like some good lyrics that like, oh, could touch you, but I don't feel like I would say it like something, the catchiness is not there, right? And people would say like, oh, it's because of like the raw emotions, but I like a more kind of strategic song in the sense, right? Like, okay, we're gonna write these good old lyrics, but then we're gonna make sure it flows, okay? And Something to Remember did just that. And production wise, it's just like, ooh, so good. And again, to hear the Madonna who, not even 10 years, who was hitting her first ballad. It goes hard, right? But that's now something to remember. Woo, that girl that grew up. So again, something to remember. I love it. And if you are surprised or you haven't figured out that Vogue was the #1 track, I don't know where you've been at.
What are you looking at?
Oh, like Vogue was the makings of this journey, right? Before anything, I saw Vogue the video. I remember literally shutting out the background. Okay, I am feeling this. Background sound good. Just look around. I'm getting to know that was Nicki and Donna. And look alone, I hadn't again seen Express Yourself, and I hadn't seen any Madonna video. I don't think. Maybe Erotica, I think I had seen. I don't know, I'm not sure, but I was like, whoa, in love with the glamour. Like, I love old Hollywood glamour, so that really appealed to me. And the choreography was on point, and everybody just looked so good in the video. But then the song is just on another level, right? It opens with them strings, that long string intro, and Madonna talking about some strike a pose. You're like, what? Oh, here, whispers of, right? And not only that, like, just having that Vogue Fest and recognizing what the song meant to not only straight people who want a good dance song to listen to, but what it represented for like the LGBTQ plus community in the sense of bringing that forefront of the ballroom culture, which I still don't know a lot about. I want to watch that movie. What's it, Paris Burning? But just knowing how monumental that song was, like, I feel like Vogue, just hearing that, Vogue might be the most important song in Madonna's catalog. I don't know, but I haven't completed the journey, but just saying how it, like, brought everybody together, right? Get this for, right? She was saying, boy or girl, it don't matter. And not only that, I feel like Vogue is the quintessential Madonna song simply because it represents, I feel like what Madonna has always represented since the very start, which is positivity. Artists of today don't have that kind of encouragement, like, let's say, like her or Michael Jackson had in their music of like, you can do it, and like, the only thing you gotta do is believe, and you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of, ooh, like, Madonna told me I can dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was saying, you can dance. Like, she didn't say I can dance. She said, you can dance. And I think I've always liked that about music. Even like, I didn't even like Over and Over Again as a song, but I always love how those positive songs of her, it's never like a me only thing. It's a, we all can do it. And it just shows how giving and sharing of an artist that she is. And like, even like a song like Spotlight, right? That was, I feel like, the ultimate song to her fans. Like, hey, y'all got the spotlight. Yeah. I feel like this just really embodies what Madonna represented from a lyrical standpoint since I feel like I started listening to her during the journey. So yeah. All right, so y'all know I want to hear what you think. Drop the comments below. What do you think about my ranking? Does it align with your ranking of the album? I would love to see, how you rank. Are we vibing or not? Like, drop the comments below. Also, hold on, let me show y'all my new album rankings. This might be kind of controversial, but yeah, we can talk about that later. That's a whole nother episode. But yeah, the I'm Breathless album, I actually liked it. And I actually glad I listened to it. And again, like really listening to the music. First and foremost, anything I think always pays off in the end. So yeah, this is actually pretty enjoyable and very, very surprising. So again, drop the comments below. Let me know your thoughts about Breathless, the album. Did I miss something? Something you want to point out? Something to be rocking with? Drop the comments below. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you are subscribed, make sure you join the channel. And if you'd like for me to react to a song of your choice, you know what to do. Hit me up on Patreon. The link is below. And again, let it be outside of Madonna. All right, the journey continues. We got what, a tour and a documentary to look at. And like a greatest hits album, but I understand the songs are remixed. And yes, I am gonna list all the songs. All right, guys. All right, guys. As always, I can't wait to move forward in the journey. Thank you guys who've been here since day one. For those of you guys who came aboard later, thank you. For those of you guys, first time watching one of my videos, I listened to every Madonna album so far, starting with the demos, but really 1983 album. So go find my Madonna playlist. It's going to be on the end cap here. You can really look at all the videos, catch up to this journey because it's been wild. All right, guys. I will see you next time.